It was originally called The Side. It was basically what became Stormy Monday. And I did a treatment and I sent it to him and I never ever heard back. I went back to teaching. A year went by. Um, and then one day I was in Soho, in the heart of the kind of commercial production company area in Soho, Wardour Street, little side street. And there was a massive dumper, what we call a skip, outside a commercials venue, right? And it was full of audio tapes that had been thrown out and, kind of film stuff. And I was teaching students at the time basic film stuff. And they never had enough material. And I thought, wow, this is ridiculous, throwing away all this magnetic tape. So I backed my car up to the skip and I got in the skip and I started literally finding all the reels that could be because you could always reuse magnetic tape, and started throwing them into the back of my station wagon. And then I heard this voice, Mike, and I looked around. It was a guy called Nigel Stafford Clark, who had been the producer on my first film, The House. And he sort of said, what are you doing? And I explained what I was doing. And then he said, well, what are you up to? And I said, well, I'm kind of a bit stalled. I've got this movie idea, but I haven't heard back from Putnam, and I'm just teaching. So he said, okay, well, this isn't the appropriate time, but why don't you come have a cup of coffee? He at that time was working for the moving picture company, who are still around. And I went and had a cup of coffee with him and showed him the script. And he gave me some very strong notes and said, look, it's a typical first film. There's three movies here. It's very complicated. If you'd like to choose the one of those movies, I'll help you get it made. And so I did. I took his advice, very good advice. I simplified the story into Stormy Monday. And then with his guidance, we had a script. And then I guess another 2 years passed. Well, while we had finance from, what was the company called? You remember them. Hemdale.
Hemdale, of course. I
Yeah.
remember Hemdale. Hemdale were responsible for a ton of films in that era.
Yeah. So it was just the point, but they were doing really well. They'd done Platoon and things like that. It
Too.
was John Daly. They announced at Cannes that they were going to do Stormy Monday, which at that point was called Round Midnight. That's another story. Um, and
Just freeze frame on that for a second. I love the fact that two of the titles were named after music.